Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. I definitely enjoyed mine. Um, Actually, today is like my Sunday. It's Wednesday. It's like my Sunday. So you know how you still catch up on work or get ready for the week, stuff like that. That's kind of what I do on Wednesday. Like I got up this morning. I actually woke up kind of late this morning because, like I said, it is like my Sunday. So I got up about 11:30. I woke up about 11. I got out of bed probably like 11:30, 12. Um, but it was productive because I like meditated in the bed. It seemed like I do that anyway. Every morning I kind of meditate in the bed. A lot of people get up, drink coffee, read the paper. I like to sit in the bed and just like think about how I want my day to be. Then I may get on, check my emails, check my messages. If I got deliveries coming, check my deliveries, check my accounts. I like to check my accounts every day because you know how the bank stuff fluctuate and this might come out or this might come out. I like to check my bank account every day, make sure my money's right. Um, because you got to be your own accountant. Like even if you got an accountant, you got to be your own accountant in business because you got to make sure your accountant is handling your money right, right? Um, so I do that. Then I get up. I'll eat. I'll eat. I normally make me a shake. Then I'll get dressed, go to the gym. So that's what I did this morning. I made me a shake, got up, went to the gym, and I'm on a new regimen right now. Uh, I want to try something different this month. I'm bulking up, so I don't know if y'all can see. No, I'm joking. Uh, I'm bulking up this month, right? So I'm eating a lot of calories. I'm not doing no cardio. Strictly just going. I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, 3 days a week, working on a full body. Uh, no ab. I really haven't done any ab exercises, none of that, right? I strictly want to just get bigger and stronger. So I've been going to the gym. I've been doing like a lot, lifting a lot of weight, like 90%, 80, 90% of my max weight. I'm trying to get that up there to get these gains going heavy on my vitamins. I don't take any supplements. The only thing that I do take is powder. I take a protein powder, and that's it, right? Because I want to do it all naturally. I don't take any testosterone boosters. I don't take nothing like that. I just strictly just eat and go to the gym. So today I ate 4 times. I'll probably eat one more time, and it's kind of late. It's almost 12 o'clock, but I don't go to bed till like 2:30, 3 o'clock, because I gotta do messages and stuff like that with the factory, and they'll go back and forth with them about stuff, whether it's quality control or it's um, orders or just whatever, gripes, complaints, or thank yous that I have. So I know we don't get to bed till about 3 o'clock. Doing that, I'm reading something. Um, so yeah, I'm probably eat one more time. I just ate, so probably like an hour and a half. I'm gonna eat, so I can go to bed like an hour after that. I'll probably just be a shake. I'll probably take one more protein shake before I go to bed to get these calories in. But today I want to talk to y'all about something that and I'm doing this Black History, and the Black History that I'm doing is different because normally most Black histories they tell you about the same people. Jackie Robinson, and a lot of him knows him as the baseball player, but they don't know he was a lieutenant in the army. I believe it was the army. So stuff like that they don't tell you. They give us the entertainer side of it, which you still a worker, a slave, but they don't give you the side that allows you to actually be a man or gives you some real credibility in the world. Because I don't care what anybody say, if you go in the military, you kind of create a path for yourself. If depending on what job you get and depending on what you do, you kind of set yourself up for a great future. And just look around at how many people has been in the military and are successful today. Even in Boys in the Hood, when Furious Styles, he's telling them kids, hey, the white man's army ain't no place for a black man. You forget though that he was a real estate agent, right? But he had went in the army. He owned his own he wasn't just an agent, he owned his own company, right? But he had also went in the army. So just think about something to think about. But so I'm learning about I'm trying to bring in some people that you really don't know about other than like the Martin Luther Kings and the Harriet Tubmans and the Rosa Parks. I'm trying to bring you entrepreneurs, right? Black entrepreneurs that were successful in a time that should have been the hardest for blacks in America. I'm talking pre-Civil War, early post-Civil War, stuff like that. Slave time, 1700s, before like the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, those type of deals, right? And we know about some of them guys like Crispus Attucks. You know, he took the first bullet in the Civil War. He shed the first blood in the not the Civil War. Was it the Civil War? Revolutionary War? I want to say. Or was it the Civil War? One of the two. But either way, damn, I can't believe I don't know that. And I did a report on him when I was in school. I learned so much stuff you just... But either one, you get my gist. He was in one of those wars, right? And he shed the first blood. So we've been doing a lot of history, but that's kind of the same with following those models, you know? I want us to follow some models that really gives us freedom, because everybody that I'm researching, regardless of the time what they was in, if they were business people, they had the opportunity to be free. Not only just free financially, but free institutionally free, right? So today we're going to talk about a man named James Wormley. And he you just got to listen. So James Wormley's parents arrived in the District of Columbia about 1815, at which time James' father Lynch engaged in the services of the prominent lawyer Francis Scott Key. And remember, he wrote the damn, I'm having a brain fart tonight. Oh, say, can you see? You know what I'm talking about. So he was a lawyer though, right? So he engaged his services as a lawyer to sue Smith Cox for his certificate of freedom. And that type of document was necessary at that time for any free black man to be in business within the district. In those early years, the Wormley family earned its livelihood from one of the only pursuits available to blacks: personal service to the prominent community of white residents of Washington. So basically, that was one of the few businesses that blacks could have at that time, was a service industry. But it was great because just like now, if you're in the service industry, it sets you up to own your own business. So if you're a bartender, cocktail, bar manager, anything like that, you can have a hospitality business because you know what it takes to make people happy. So the service industry was great because we had those skills, and it allowed us to start our own businesses back then. And remember, this was 1815. This was 1815. Think about the timing. All right. So Lynch and his sons were experienced horsemen and began to develop a successful livery business as hat drivers to politicians, socialites, and businessmen. So they were basically, they were early Ubers, right? This is how smart they were. They were early Ubers, right? James, born in 1819 in the square adjacent to the west side of the park, started his business career in his youth as a jockey, driving the leaders of government around town in his hat, right? So as a youth, his dad, right, got his sons in the business with him. And that's what we failed to do too. Lineage, right? Having that longevity in your family. You keep your business running through your seeds. So that's why it's important to start teaching your seeds early, right? About business. Letting them start their small businesses themselves or helping you in your business. But letting them earn on their own. Like for me, I give all my boys, I don't really buy birthday presents and stuff like that. I give them product. And I let them go with me to sell the product, right? To make their own money that they want to make. But I don't give them no birthday gift. I'm not spending no $100, $200, $300 on no birthday gifts. That's ridiculous. How about this? I'm going to give you this product. You go sell it. Make the money you want to make, right? And you can buy whatever you want. Entrepreneurial spirit is what I'm teaching. So that's the gift I give them every year. Because every year I give them whatever your age is, that's what you get in product. So I'm giving them the gift of entrepreneurial lessons every single year instead of some Jordans or instead of Xbox or instead of a PlayStation or instead of this garbage or this phone or this garbage that they ask for. You know what I'm saying? And that's more important as a parent because your job is to teach your children how to be successful adults. Remember, they go to school for education, but as a parent, you're supposed to teach them how to be successful adults. So, let me finish. That experience exposed him to private discussions of these men while they rode. So James Wormley soon became a favorite by virtue of his skills and ability to maintain the confidentiality of private conversations as customers were driven to their destinations. Thereafter, he became a steward on steamships, learning the trade of being a host and catering to the needs of his patrons. See, a lot of him probably, now you would look at him as like a sharecropper, slave type dude, but he was an early Uber. He was an early concierge, right? Because he could do with an early promoter because he knew what people wanted and he could take care of them. In the early 1850s, Wormley was named as steward for the Washington Club, located in what had been the Rogers Mansions on Madison Place facing the square. Wormley nurtured his relationships with the most powerful people in the city. Members of the club included the residents around and near the square and Williams Corcoran, Jefferson Davis, George Riggs, a lot of military people he knew. And so, as a result of his association with these prominent men, his services became more and more in demand. In 1860, when the first Japanese commission was sent to Washington, Wormley was engaged to cater their sailing trip up the coast to Norfolk and Philadelphia. His service was highly regarded because in 1867, Secretary of State William H. Seward commissioned Wormley to have the next Japanese commission accommodate for their entire 6-week stay at his house on I Street. So he had bought real estate, right? And when he bought that real estate, he turned it into a hotel. So once he turned it into a hotel, he went from working in a place to having a place for them to stay when they came to town, right? Where was So this guy, he started building relationships. So it's about networking, right? He acquired international reputation. In 1861, he basically had somebody write about him in a book, which circulated all over. So he got a lot of recognition. People came there to see him. Through the Civil War years, he prospered. His business not only hosted military and political leaders. His catering business was engaged to feed Confederate prisoners and late evening dinner meetings at the War Department. So he had his own restaurant as well. In 1869, Wormley's fortunes had prospered to the extent that he elected to expand business by acquiring the building at the southwest corner of 15th and 8th Street. So if you live in D.C., next time you see 15th and 8th Street, take a look, right? Because right there is a building where that belonged to one of the first wealthy black people in D.C., right? So he would feed people from his farm. He created a racetrack to let him go down there and do the racetrack. He had a lot of history. So basically, that tells you your early businesses, your early jobs, your early whatever you do, you need to start grooming yourself to turn that into a business, right? If you're a taxi driver, buy your own car. Buy you a sedan, a Suburban. You know, find clients you calling around, get you some business cards made up and say, here, next when you drive a taxi, hey, if you want some personal service, call me. This is what the kind of car I got. Because you're a regular, I'm gonna give you this deal. Because it goes by word of mouth. You can hear it. Even from the early 1800s, business has not changed. Right? It took you got to remember, this was slavery days that he was prominent in the capital of Washington, D.C. Right? I read something where he went down to Baltimore. He was recognized in Baltimore as well. And that's my hometown, but go look him up. James Wormley. Wormley. And I'm going to post on, I put the names up there, everybody. But go research them. Go research these people, because this is why I'm telling you about entrepreneurs and not athletes and actresses. Because I could tell you about the Billie Holidays who overcame, but they're still, those people are still slaves. Right? They were still slaves. They were slaves to the entertainment world, because that's totally different. They weren't their own people. Right? They didn't have to, they answered to people. These people answered to themselves and to their customers. So they were nice, they were courteous, attentive, because that was their business, that was their customers, right? So they didn't do it because they had to, they did it because that was their business. And when it's yours, you want to be like that. It's people that I meet now that if I was working for someone and having to do what I do, I would not enjoy it at all. But because it's mine, right? It makes me go in there with an attitude of, I want to treat you like I'm welcoming you into my house. Because when you stop to hear me talk about my product, or you hear to listen about my product, I'm courteous to you. I'm attentive. I'm making you laugh. I'm making you smile. Right? So you buying that person's personality, regardless of how the product. I've had products where I was like, oh, this is a great product, but the person that was delivering the product to me had a horrible attitude, and I will not shop here. I will not spend my money here. Right? But to go back to entrepreneurship, take what you know, take what you've already learned from working a 9 to 5. From whatever your grind was, turn that into a business. Because once you have your own and you own your own, right? Life becomes a lot easier. It wasn't until I could start, I didn't go in, like a lot of people tell you, oh, you won't be happy. You got to go find your passion and do something you're passionate about. Yeah, it's hard to find passion when you're hungry and you got to eat. Right? So it sounds good, but I don't have time to sit down here and that's not for everybody, right? Because I know some people, they love me. I don't know if it's their passion or not. They like do it, making candles or whatever. So if that's your passion, making candles is your passion, writing short stories is your passion, then that's stuff you can go make money on. My passion is actually helping people, right? But that's not something that I felt like I could go make a living right away helping people, because I had, you have to build credibility in helping people, right? But I needed to make money. I needed to eat. So my business right now is what allows me to eat. And because I found a tool to be able to eat, I can help other people eat from my business, because I can help you get into business for yourself, right? So I learned, my passion followed. But you gotta be able to do your own thing You got to be able to call your own shots before you can even start doing that. For real, for real. And that's being honest, because when you got to wake up and go to a 9 to 5, you don't have time to be thinking about what makes you happy. All you know is what's making you unhappy, and that's this job right now. Then by the time you get off, you got to go sit an hour in traffic. Then you got to think about dinner. Then you got to get ready for the next day. And before you know it, you got to go to sleep and start all over again. When the week do what you need to do to rejuvenate yourself. And then you got to start all over again. As a business owner, I could take Monday off if I want to, Tuesday off, Wednesday off, Thursday off, Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off. I lose money, but I could take all those days off if I wanted to. As an owner, I could say I ain't doing nothing this week. I did it all last year. But then I catch right back up, and what I tell y'all, I'm right back on it. So I'm gonna leave it there for the day. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. I'm getting up, relaxed tomorrow. I mean, I don't got the gym tomorrow, so I'm gonna just get up, eat, get some work done, jump into my Tuesday of my week, and make it happen. So I see y'all. Y'all be easy.